turn-based combat, welcome to 1990. Yeah, see, people can enjoy different games, is the thing. And the fact that a turn-based combat game won Game of the Year goes to show you how bad the competition did. Because that is a niche genre of game. To the point that if all of the other games that are more accessible, more normie-friendly like you know, no shame in being a casual, the idea that a super niche genre of game was able to beat out all of the other more accessible, normie-friendly games is an indictment on the games that you wanted to win, not an indictment on the game that ended up winning. A lot of people talk about, oh my god, Baldur's Gate 3, it's so bad because the combat is turn-based. There's so many things you have to keep track of, and my brain is too small to handle keeping track of 4 individual characters who actually have a lot of really good story and writing behind them. But oh my god, the turn-based combat, I just can't do it. I need to be able to dolphin dive, slide while shooting, running, and gunning in first person. I need to be able to see Nicki Minaj's ass in front of me as I'm chasing her to get the victory royale. Shut the f up, bro. You're not a gamer. At least not the kind of gamer I am, okay? I wanted to vote for my 2023 Steam Awards picks live on stream. I did the Game Awards ones off stream the one day, whenever that was, and Baldur's Gate 3 swept. Feels good, man. As expected. I've talked about this before. I was on the ball with that. I was an early adopter of that. I knew everything that was going to happen. I prophesized it. They call me Conure Deus, you know? Or Conure Damus, I should say. But also Conure Deus. I got my finger on the pulse. So now we have the Steam Awards. And I did vote previously. I voted for nominations, where people could just throw up whatever goddamn game. You could put up Orc Massage if you wanted to. And if enough other people also nominated and put their vote in for Orc Massage for one of these categories, it would show up for everybody to vote on. So now we're in the voting process. Before it was nomination selection, now we're actually voting on shit. So I wanted to do it on stream, because, like, why not? I like video games. I've played a fair amount of them this past year. We went over my Steam year in review the other day on stream. I mean, I figure I might as well just do that really quickly before we do this. I'm not going to, like, read through it all like I did before. I even use, like, a voice for it. Like, this year you played a variety of games. Here are a few of your highlights. Conure Steam Year in Review 2023, 29 games played, 19 of which were new games. We got 650 achievements unlocked. That's 27 games and 40 rare achievements. 57% of the games were played with keyboard and mouse, while 43% were with controller. KBM Master Race Baldur's Gate 3 was 23% of my playtime with 68 sessions played, and Rocket League came in second with 20%. 251 sessions played, however. Elden Ring then at 9%, 37 sessions played. And then all the rest, you know. I'm beating the median, obviously, because I'm a gamer. I'm playing a lot of Souls-like, stealth games, cyberpunk, action roguelike, nature, somehow. Bullet hells. And, you know, and then they go through all this. So in terms of the games that I put the most time into, they show all that. But they also give, explore the games you played this year. I played Baldur's Gate 3, I beat it in my first good morality alignment playthrough, I beat it in Dark Urge as well, I intend to do another playthrough in the near future. You know, Hella Rocket League earlier in the year, not as much anymore. I played and beat Elden Ring for the first time this year, played and beat Cyberpunk 2077 for the first time this year after the 2.0 release. I played a fair amount of Hitman Freelancer, which is the roguelite game mode for Hitman, which is actually really fun. Shouts out to Spectacor and Squeaks for getting me into that game, it's really good. Their streams are also really good. I played and beat Lies of P 3 times this year. It is my favorite Souls-like I've ever played. The ranking currently is Lies of P, Sekiro, then Elden Ring in that order. However, I still have to replay Sekiro, so play Sekiro for a second time, which I intend to do. And when I do that, it's likely Sekiro jumps back up to the #1 spot for me. But for right now, because I've beaten Lies of P 3 times, it's currently my favorite. Elden Ring coming in third. But it's likely that Sekiro ends up getting that top spot after I play it a second time and get another ending. And then other than that, we got a bunch of shit. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk was fucking huge. I never played Jet Set Radio as a kid. I hear now Sega is doing a Jet Set Radio new release, which got announced at the Game Awards, along with a bunch of other shit. And I like to think that Team Reptile, the studio behind such classics as Lethal League and Lethal League Blaze, who then parlayed the money they got from making that really fun game into another really fun game, a spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. I like to think that that pressure gave Sega, like, oh, people still want this. It did really well for Team Reptile. How about we make one as well? You know, I hope that's the case. I don't know if that's the case, but it's really good. It's a good game. Good soundtrack. Obviously, I'm playing hella Risk of Rain 2. I got like 600 plus hours in that game. I've got mastery on everybody but Engineer. Engineer's boring. That's the main reason why. I will get it at some point, but I just don't care enough. Played and beat Signalis for the first time as well this year, and this game is so good. The story is absurdly good. I have a video on it if you want to watch my thoughts on it and a variety of other broader topics about that, if you want to, see that. Terra Nil was a fun little thing. It didn't deliver as much as I think it could have, but it was a fun little meme. And yeah, that's about, the games that are really of note. The other ones I've kind of just like fucked around with a little bit. Dave the Diver was really good. That's a good-ass game as well. Sekiro, of course. Absolute banger Souls-like. I really like the combat system in Sekiro, which is why I like Lies of P so much, because it seems to be a blend of these Souls games, like Dark Souls and Elden Ring, and Sekiro's combat styles put together. The team, NeoWiz and, how am I forgetting? Studio 8, I believe, is what they are. Lies of P developers. Yeah, Round 8, sorry. NeoWiz and Round 8. Round 8's the studio. NeoWiz, I believe, is the publisher. Could be wrong about that. They both had it, a part to play. It seems like the devs behind Lies of P have played Souls-likes before, understand how they work, and it's likely that they played other Souls games and were like, yeah, these things could be made better. These are the ways that I would enjoy these games to be better and not have these faults. And they were like, okay, well, how about we just make our own that is better in those ways? And they actually delivered. Like, Lies of P is really fucking good. You don't just have to take my word for it. If you know of Joseph Anderson from his video game reviews, he is a pretty fair critiquer of games, in my opinion. He's had some, really good critiques of really popular games that have actually hindered his growth and whatnot, that I happen to agree with, on games like Elden Ring or Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom, or Super Mario Odyssey. So I agree with a lot of his takes, and I think they're well-reasoned. I disagree with some, obviously. But I respect his opinion a lot, and it's one of his favorite Souls-likes as well. And he's played more than me. Like, he played Dark Souls when it was the only Souls-like. This man's a fucking fossil. And I love his streams. But, so, I really respect him for that. And he knows a lot more about the Souls-like format for me. So, Lies of P, really good game. You should play it. Anyway, so now we need to get to a Steam Award. And we'll see what's up. That's just to give you, like, a brief run-over of my video game enjoyment of the year 2023. So, the Steam 2023 Steam Awards. You've chosen the nominees. Now we need your help in choosing the winners. Cast the final votes to choose this year's winners and unlock special stickers along the way. Wow. So, 2023 Steam Awards Game of the Year Award. Maybe it was its immersive gameplay or its gripping story, its well-crafted characters, immaculate design, or addictive multiplayer. Whatever the reason, the winner of this year's Game of the Year Award is an instant classic. So we have in the list here Hogwarts Legacy, joke game. No cultural impact past the whole transphobia angle that was really overplayed on either side. I have a whole video on that if you wanted my takes at the time. Even the people who enjoyed the game aren't talking about it that much. A pet theory of mine is the only reason that it's on this list to begin with is because, a bunch of fucking nerds were like, we could really stick it to the transes. Because, one of the wokest games ever made, Baldur's Gate 3, didn't go broke, actually, and swept Game of the Year at the Game Awards and all these other accolades, and it sold really well, especially for a niche game and genre of game that not a lot of people have actually had experience with and have been introduced into, and kind of revitalized that, and they did an exceptional job with it, and you see fan art of it all over the goddamn place, and it was a cultural nuke that absolutely hit everybody like a ton of bricks. Even if you weren't playing it, it is absolutely deserved of Game of the Year, and I've outlined this several times on my stream and in my YouTube videos. So that game swept Game of the Year, so maybe we could get an unwoke game, even though there's no actual hints at that being the case. But J.K. Rowling is transphobic, and proudly so. She is the Grand Wizard of the TERFs, of the transphobes, so maybe if we can get Hogwarts Legacy Game of the Year, it's not going to happen. And if it does, I will gift 5 subs to my community. I think that's a fair trade, if I'm wrong. But, that's, my theory on that. It sold really well. It's just that the cultural impact of it does not even hold a candle to Baldur's Gate 3. But we also got, Resident Evil 4, Lethal Company, and FIFA Cocksucker 24. I don't know what FIFA C, what does that mean? I don't think sports games should ever win because they're all the same game over and over. I don't know how much you could really iterate. Football Club? Oh, EA Sports Football Club, maybe. Now, of course, if we want, an actual good sport game, you could, get the real football game.
Ronaldinho Soccer!
Ha 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 ha. Yeah, you can get Mundial Ronaldinho Soccer 64 if you want a real sports game. But yeah, I think currently the race is between Baldur's Gate 3 and Resident Evil 4. Lethal Company, a lot of people are playing it and enjoying it. I just don't see it winning. I don't think it's worthy of winning Game of the Year either. I played it, I've enjoyed of it what I can. It's not the game for me, I've learned, which is unfortunate because I do think it could be a lot of fun. I think they need to improve on it a lot, though, in my opinion, for it to really grab me because it feels clunky as all hell. The best part of this game is not really the game itself, but the interactions you'll have with friends playing it, which is, worthwhile, but you would want the game to be good as well with that in mind. So I'm obviously going to vote Baldur's Gate 3. No shit. It is easily Game of the Year. It got it at the Game Awards, and it's likely to get it in the Steam Awards. It's Baldur's Gate 3. Reason being, it's a niche genre of game that absolutely exploded in cultural relevance and popularity. It's sold very well. It's introduced so many people to the CRPG genre, and because of how difficult of a genre that is to get into, because of the time investment, the amount of mechanics you have to learn, the depth of mechanics that you'll discover and have to adapt to and learn as you play the game, the fact that turn-based combat and squad-based turn-based combat is not for everybody, the fact that it's been able to be as much of a cultural touchstone as it has been, I think is largely attributed to the characters, the performance of the characters by the actors, whom have been very active in the broader Baldur's Gate community. Shouts out Neil Newbin, voice of Astarion, who won Best Voice Actor Performance. I forget the actual name of that award at the Game Awards. Is an overall cool guy. A Kiwi, I believe, as well, which is kind of cool. The actors in the game absolutely smashed it out of the park. The writers did a fair enough job. Like, I have my gripes with some of the writing and the story. You can't all be perfect. They did what they needed to do, and they did more. And it was really good. And because of that, because the characters are so memorable, because of those performances of the actors, and the writing, and the gameplay itself being pretty solid, especially for my first ever CRPG, I was able to get a hold of it pretty quickly. And now it's made me want to try others in the series, like Divinity Original Sin 2, maybe even that Warhammer game that just recently came out, Rogue Trader, though I'm not as familiar with the Warhammer ecosystem, where I'm more familiar with D&D. I believe Divinity Original Sin is like Pathfinder. Anyway, we're in the weeds. It's a good-ass game, okay? You see fan art of it everywhere. You see discourse about it still to this day, even though it came out months ago. It's a banger. It's a good game. And coincidentally, this is not why I played it, nor why I enjoyed it, though part of why I enjoyed it, but not the main reason. It's also woke as hell. You can be gay in it, right? It's very transhumanist as well. Your masculine character can have a vagine. Your feminine character can have a penis. It's kind of woke. A little gay. And it's not even just like we're going to put a gay character in here. We're just going to make Dumbledore gay after the fact and have it have no actual relevance in the story at all. There's actual gay shit written into the story. Like, actual gay shit written into the story. And are actually kind of important in the story as well, which is really cool. And for a game that's that woke, to then not go broke and in fact exceed all expectations, become most people's pick for Game of the Year, is insane. It's unheard of. And it's because we're winning. The gay agenda, very strong. Can I make the characters bald? With mods, yes. And Larian Studios, the studio behind Baldur's Gate 3, are very open to modding as well. I played my second playthrough with a variety of mods, mostly aesthetic and some quality of life stuff, just to make my character look cooler. But the character creation in the game is already pretty cool, pretty good. I spend a lot of time making characters in this game. And they've continually updated it as well. They've given us new free content as well. It's a good-ass fucking game. The studio is knocking it out of the park. I'm excited for the next installment of their CRPG series of games. I don't know if it'll be D&D or Baldur's Gate. It could be, another Divinity Original Sin game. It could be an entirely different story with a different system. It could be another D&D system game, but with a different story, not Baldur's Gate. It's a whole bunch of different options out there, and I'm excited to see what they cook up. Because, someone cooked here, for sure. Thank you very much, IFA for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Be yourself, everybody. Hope you had a good one. Hope you got a victory royale in Risk of Rain 2 or whatever it was you were doing. I'm currently voting on my Steam Awards Game of the Year memes. Next, we have Steam VR Game of the Year. The VR Game of the Year isn't merely masquerading as regular reality. This game improves on reality, taking advantage of the medium of VR, pushing the boundaries. I really don't care about VR. It's cool in concept. In actuality, you need like the fucking quantum computer to be able to actually get good-ass graphics in these games right now. It's also difficult for a lot of people when it comes to motion sickness and stuff like that. I do agree, yeah, the AR is cooler, augmented reality. I like it in concept, though, and I'm excited to see where the tech is in the future. But for right now, it's not for me, and also it costs a lot, and also, meh. So I'm not gonna, I could throw out a funny little vote here, but, like, I won't, because I don't care. But, good for all the VR enjoyers out there. I hope your pick wins. Next, we've got Labor of Love Award. This game's been out for a while. The team is well past the debut of their creative baby, but being the good parents they are, these devs continue to nurture and support their creation. This game, to this day, is still getting new content after all these years. We've got Deep Cock Galactic. We got harder and uglier League of Legends. We've got Rust. We've got EA's Fortnite. And Red Dead Redemption 2. I've played Dota 2 in the past. It is quite literally just uglier and harder League of Legends. So for that reason, I'm out. I have not played Deep Rock Galactic. I've not played Rust. I'm not a big fan of the genre of game. It seems to attract a lot of degens, which can be funny and or worrying for the mental state of the people playing. Apex, Battle Royales had their day in the sun. I played PUBG when it first came out, and that was a lot of fun. And then everybody and their mothers started making Battle Royales. I stopped caring, as did a lot of other people. Warzone is pretty fun. Whatever. I didn't play Fortnite. Apex Legends seems to have, some stuff going for it, which is cool, with it being, like, character fighter shit. But, and then Red Dead Redemption 2, which is the only game here that's not, by its design, multiplayer. Now, there is multiplayer in it, I believe. If I had to vote, I haven't played any of these games, really. If I had to vote, I'd probably just vote Red Dead Redemption 2 because haha, Cowboys. But, I'm not going to vote. Best Game on Steam Deck Award. This game was so good you wanted to take it everywhere. So you grabbed your Steam Deck and did. Luckily, everything that made it endlessly playable at your desk got even better on the go. Yeah, no, I don't have a Steam Deck and I have no desire to have one. I don't even use my Nintendo Switch anymore. I got that thing to be my Smash Ultimate device when that game was new. I played a little bit of Animal Crossing on it. I played a little bit of Super Mario Maker 2, and I use it to play Darkest Dungeon on plane rides. And I played Tears of the Kingdom, which was just Breath of the Wild DLC, I came to learn. But you could dress up that twink in a variety of outfits, so that was cool. But in terms of what's on here of games I have played, it's only Brotato. And I'm going to say that game is probably pretty decent on Steam Deck. So while I haven't played it myself, I'll cast a vote for Brotato, even though it's not going to win. Why not? I've got like 50 hours in Brotato. Tears of the Kingdom Game of the Year, you're coping. It lost Game of the Year, actually. It was just Breath of the Wild DLC. The shrines were repetitive. There were some cool ones, but it was boring. The underworld was a waste of time. It was cool when you first got there and you thought, oh my god, is this going to have different biomes like the above ground world? Is this going to be so much more gaming? And then it turns out that the underground, the Underdark or whatever it's called, it's just the same shit copy-pasted over and over again with some unique areas that were not nearly cool enough to warrant going there. And then the Sky Islands were cool in the beginning, and then you find out that so many of them are literally still copy-pasted, like literally copy-pasted, like actually you can find the same Sky Islands in a variety of places throughout the world. So it's just so much artificial widening of the game with no actual depth, to the point where I wish they didn't make the game so wide and they focused on making the game more fun and the combat more engaging, because the combat was really fucking boring. The idea of fusing weapons was really cool, and I enjoyed that. But, like, the actual combat is the same shit over and over. The story was fine, I thought it was cool enough. I didn't really care that much. The game didn't make me care that much, which is a shame, because I really enjoyed Ocarina of Time. But, what can you do? It was just Breath of the Wild DLC, and that's fine if you're not going to charge $80 for it. But, I had a fun game. It's not a bad game. It's just not Game of the Year. Turn-based combat, welcome to 1990. Yeah, see, people can enjoy different games, is the thing. And the fact that a turn-based combat game won Game of the Year goes to show you how bad the competition did. Because that is a niche genre of game. That is not a very easily picked up and accessible game mode. To the point that if all of the other games that are more accessible, more normie-friendly like you, no shame in being a normie gamer, no shame in being a casual, the idea that a super niche genre of game was able to beat out all of the other more accessible, normie-friendly games is an indictment on the games that you wanted to win, not an indictment on the game that ended up winning. Sorry. A lot of people talk about, oh my god, Baldur's Gate 3, it's so bad because of the combat. The combat is turn-based, and there's so many things you have to keep track of, and my brain is too small to handle keeping track of 4 individual characters who actually have a lot of really good story and writing behind them, and the voice acting goes hard as fuck, and it's actually really cool, and there's so much player freedom in the game. The games are always talking about, oh my god, player choice, choices matter, TM, to the point where it's become a meme because they never deliver, but this game actually does. But oh my god, the turn-based combat, I just can't do it. I need to be able to fucking dolphin dive, slide, while shooting, running, and gunning in first person. I need to be able to see Nicki Minaj's ass in front of me as I'm chasing her to get the victory royale. Shut the fuck up, bro. You're not a gamer. At least not the kind of gamer I am, okay? You might be a casual. And like I say, there's no shame in being a normie casual gamer. But when it comes to, you know, trying to objectify these games and judge them for Game of the Year in an objective way, there are just so many more points that are going to be given to Baldur's Gate 3. And it's going to be a lot of people who are not super casual gamers who are going to have more to say about these games and to award these points. They'll have more an understanding of the broader game ecosystem, you know, the genres of games that are out there, the games that are doing well with things and improving upon things, like Lies of P, for instance, makes a lot of improvements in the Souls-like genre for some of its flaws. You know, it's pretty good. Tears of the Kingdom copers, stay coping. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 copers, you were delusional from the start. You're living in a different reality than everybody else if you thought that shit was winning Game of the Year. I don't doubt that it was probably a fun experience, but, you know, come on. Like, Spider-Man is like the only good superhero, and I feel like we've had enough. Anyway. My only criticism for Baldur's Gate 3 is that it asks a lot of time from you. Yeah, exactly, and that's why it's shocking that it won, right? But that's the thing, like, Baldur's Gate 3 asks a lot of your time, but so did Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom asked a lot of your time, too, because they made it wide as hell, with so much stuff to do, with the above ground, with the, you know, the story, with the side quests, and the different engagements and fights you could get, and then the underworld, and then the Sky Islands as well. They tried to make you play for so long and put so many hours into the game, but it's got the depth of a puddle after a light rain. You know, it's got the depth of a puddle after somebody cried tears. There's not much there. So, like, yeah, exactly. Baldur's Gate 3 respects your time. That's true, Cassie. Whereas Tears of the Kingdom does not respect your time at all. Tears of the Kingdom actively mocks your time because it wastes it with so much repeated shit that is completely unnecessary and only there to pad game time and game hours. Like, why the hell is the underground not have unique biomes like the above ground? Doesn't make any sense. Why does it all look the same? I was so excited when I first got to the underground area the first time. I was like, oh shit, I know there's a snow area, I know there's a desert area. Is there gonna be like an underground icy area, like icy caverns? Are there gonna be like ice stalactites and monsters and stuff? Is there gonna be like a sandy, like caved in area with like golems and stuff and whatnot? No, there wasn't. Baldur's Gate 3's combat is extremely repetitive though. You literally said Tears of the Kingdom deserved Game of the Year over Baldur's Gate 3, and you're talking about repetitive combat. My friend, please unshackle yourself from Nintendo. Allow their cock to escape your throat because you are running out of oxygen, my friend. Your brain is not operating at 100% capacity if that's a take you're giving me. You're saying that Baldur's Gate 3 combat is extremely repetitive, when Tears of the Kingdom literally just has you fucking whack things over and over, and then dodge once, and then fucking spam a button to hit things. That's the combat the whole time! That's it! There's no other combat! That's it! At least there are different classes in Baldur's Gate 3. You literally control 4 different people that by default are likely going to have different systems of combat baked within their class, to the point where Tears of the Kingdom's combat is more repetitive. So if repetitive combat is your problem with Baldur's Gate 3, then you're going to have to think less of Tears of the Kingdom. It doesn't make any sense. You could be a spellcaster in Baldur's Gate 3. You could be a melee character. You could be a stealth melee character that's squishy but glass cannon. You could fucking talk no jutsu your way out of so many combat scenarios and not actually fight anybody if you want. You don't have those options in fucking Tears of the Kingdom, and the enemy variety is fucking nowhere to be seen. It's the same enemies from Breath of the Wild over and fucking over again. It's boring, man. You're out of your element here. You're playing at a different table, okay? You know, we're not talking about the same thing. Link is hotter than Astarion? Different strokes. Link is more andro, whereas Astarion is like a mask-leaning femme. Gay. What about Starfield? What about it? It wasn't even an option for Game of the Year, for the Game Awards. It wasn't even a fucking option. They were like, you know what? There's so many good games that came out this year. I don't even know what Starfield is. The game of the year said. I didn't say that. TGA said that. They're like, what the fuck is a Starfield? It did show up in like one category and it didn't win it. I know you're joking because you've been here, but holy shit. Like, Starfield is worse than Tears of the Kingdom. Because at least Tears of the Kingdom, like, I had fun with. I didn't even want to play Starfield. What a joke. Anyway, so, like, I don't play any of these games. But I am going to throw a vote at Red Dead Redemption 2. Also, Steam is forcing my hand here by giving me stickers every time I vote. So I'm going to have to go back and get a sticker or two. So let's just... What's this game? Labyrinthine? Looks pretty fun. I got a sticker. Was good. All right, next. Better with Friends Award. There are games out there that aren't just the same when you play by yourself. Maybe you need to have a friend to watch your back. Maybe you need to have a friend that you can stab in the back. Either way, fun is waiting. Those who gather friends together to play this game. Awaiting as well, some may say. So we got Darktide, the Warhammer game, or like Soy Hammer. We got Party Animals. Got Lethal Company, the only game on this list I played. Sons of the Forest, what is that? Is it like The Forest, but like it's a new installment? It seems like it. And Sunken Land, which looks like Raft, rather, but isn't, because there's gun. I'm gonna have to go Lethal Company for that one, because that game is kind of fun. Like I say, it's not my kind of game. The mechanics need to be better for me to like really want to spend time in it. But I had fun with friends for the amount of time that I played it. Also, a lot of people said it was like Among Us. I don't know what kind of glue you're smoking. Lethal Company is nothing like Among Us, except for the fact that like people are in spacesuits. What are you talking about? Anyway, I'm gonna vote Lethal Company because it's the only game here I played. Lol. And it's probably going to win, too, given that, like, its cultural relevance. It's like the flavor of the week or month. Outstanding Visual Style Award. Visual style doesn't aspire to real-world graphical fidelity, though a noble goal in itself. I disagree. I want games with more stylized graphics. No more of this, oh my god, it's so much like real life. Like, it's like I'm playing a real-life game. I don't need that. I'm living real life, okay? I'm already there. I look around me and I'm like, holy shit, photorealism? No way. Give me stylized graphics. We got Darkest Dungeon 2. I haven't played it. It does look nice, though, and I have played Darkest Dungeon, the first one. We got Inward, which, you know, has a wolf on the cover. So that might be the furry pick. I don't really know what's going on here. Does look cute, though. You got High on Life, the Rick and Morty game, Lamau. I don't know why I guess I could see an argument for outstanding visual style from what I've seen of it. Because, like, it's cutesy. It's funny. I don't think it would win it, though. Atomic Fart is on here. It's got sexy robots in it. That's what I know. All this gameplay footage I'm seeing right now looks very bleak and dreary, which, like, it is an aesthetic, of course, you know. Like, Stalker, Shadow of Chernobyl, good-ass game, is very bleak and dreary, and I enjoyed that, and I think it looks kind of cool. But, like, you also got Cocoon, which looks cute, but I haven't played it. So I'm gonna have to give it to Darkest Dungeon, because it's the only game I've played. Next, we got Most Innovative Gameplay Award. Oh, you. Oh, wow. That's funny. My God. Man, people know how to crack a joke when it's necessary. Most Innovative Gameplay Award. Cutscene Copy-Paste Simulator. Starfield. Really? The designers of this game are at the front lines of creative experimentation. Bethesda, everybody. Bringing a fresh perspective and brain-breaking surprises. This game delighted, inspired, and entertained with newness never played before. That's Starfield in a nutshell. If I needed, listen, if I had to describe Starfield to anybody who was recently thawed out of a block of ice all the way from the Paleolithic era, and I had to give that description, it would probably kill them, just from having to hear all this language that they're not familiar with. They would kill me, probably, as well, before perishing of that mental toll. But if they didn't, and I was able to teach them more, at the level that they were able to understand, they would not agree that Starfield is the winner of this category. Holy shit. We got Contraband Police. Yeah, ACAB, though, so I'm good. Shadows of Doubt. I doubt that's winning. Your only move is hustle. That's real. That's true, In my life, that's my mantra. That's how I operate. I'm always hustling, I'm always on the grind. That's fair. You got Remnant 2, which I didn't play, of course. But I watched 39 Daft play. And, it's like bullet sponge enemy FPS, which I hate. So I'm good on that. And then fucking Soyfield. Let's give it to Starfield. Let's go, everybody. Most innovative gameplay. Starfield. We know it. Y'all know it. I've said a lot of shit about Starfield. This is the only thing you could say with absolute certainty is actually correct about the game. For sure. Innovative, you know, groundbreaking, really at the cutting edge with Best Game You Suck At award. This is the game that rewards persistence and is not for the faint of heart. It's the toughest game we've ever loved. I voted Liza P for this. It's a shame Lords of the Fallen is on here instead, because it is inferior to Liza P from everything I've heard about it. And the devs have been shitting the bed when it comes to balancing the game, I've heard as well. So that's cool. I mean, it looks nice. It's a Souls-like, you know. We've got Overwatch 2, joke game. It's in the same realm of Tears of the Kingdom being DLC, but a new game for a whole ass fucking new game price. No thanks. You know, Widowmaker could get it though. She's right there. You just saw her. That's true. We got Sifu, which I actually have heard about this game, and it has a cool name, but I haven't played it. I might though. I mean, it gives me like Yakuza vibes just by looking at it. It was like the beat 'em up gameplay, and I do find the Yakuza game is interesting. That said, I don't know much about it. We got Street Fighter 6. They recently put a character in that game that is a snake lady that literally slithers on the ground. Street Fighter 6 Snake Lady. And I'm gonna full screen cam real quick on this image search because you know there's some shit going on here. Actually, let's hit up a video. Aki, a.k.i. So like, if you look at this, you know. So she got a yee ass haircut. That's L, unfortunately. But I'm willing to give it a pass, okay? Because like they knew what they were doing here. So she got a mushroom cap on her head. And you know, I'm with the fun guy. Okay? I'm just not the biggest fan of the idea of, you know, my woman having some fungus on her. I'm mycelium gang, don't get me wrong. It's just not like, that's not, humans aren't supposed to, is what I mean to say. Can she get you high? Well, she can certainly, I'm sure she knows her way around a variety of chemical substances that would have varying effects for you.
Of his misery.
She got claw hands. I'm already in. Goddamn. She's an evil bitch. I'm in.
Time for some experimentation.
Good lord. Holy. Wait, I'm sorry. I didn't. There was something really cool in the background that I missed. Wait, let me look at this. What is back here? Oh, there's actually people up here. Look at that. There's actually people up here. Wait, what are they doing? Wait, we gotta look at this scene again. Wait, what is that? There's people up here. See that? Oh, and look at this water feature. Look at. Wow, that's a really, and like this build. It's like that's a thick building, you know. Just slither on the ground. This is the only thing I wanted to show. It's funny. Slither! She fucking slithers! Slither! For that reason, I'm in. That's funny as hell. And, oh my god, dude. Like, you know, whoever cooked when it came to Aki is a fucking gourmand, okay? They know their way around the kitchen, is all I'm saying. They are familiar with why Michelin stars are called Michelin, and if that has anything to do with the tires. I don't know that shit. They do. And I don't even play traditional fun. Oh my god. Where else are you touching me, girl? Tell me. Holy. Wait. I need to see this start for this super or whatever they call it. Look at this. Okay. Yeah, I'm good. I'm in. You make a compelling argument. So for that reason, I'm voting Street Fighter 6. Best Soundtrack Award. This unsung hero deserves to be recognized for its outstanding musical score. It's the OST, or OST, with the most, or MOST. Nobody says OST, but I get what they were doing here. You got The Last of Us Part 1, which I've not played, but I've seen several people play. We got Chants of Sennaar. This game looks really cute. I like the graphics a lot. That said, I have not heard it. We got Pizza Tower. Peppino, hey, mamma mia. Forget about it. He says to him, I need a pizza. Where's the tower? Hey, mama, I'm walking here trying to get to the tower over there. It's got the pizza. It's a good game. It's not my kind of game. I do like platformers a lot, but I'm not a big fan of 2D platformers. Like, I like Celeste a lot, of course. I'm a Super Mario 64 speedrunner, but that's like a 3D platformer. And this style of 2D platformer especially, I'm not the biggest fan of. That said, soundtrack does go hard. Holy shit. Next we got... What even is this? This is a fucking weeb game. What is that? Persona 5. Sorry, holy, I can't read. I always hear the Persona games have good soundtrack. And then we got Hi-Fi Rush, which is a fucking cool-ass game that I have not played. And I'm sure the music is banging. I've seen some of it. It seems really cool. I'm going to vote Pizza Tower, though, because I know it's not going to win, but it would be funny if it did. Oh! Okay, this is fucked up. We got Outstanding Story-Rich Game Award. Some days, only a narrative-heavy game will hit the spot. And this one packs a wallop. It's as gripping as any soap opera, and as well-tuned as a prestige TV screenplay. Bravissimo for making us feel things. I'm always trying to feel. We got Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Did not play it. Will not play it. Never give a fuck about a Star Wars. Never did. Star Wars peaked when it came to Lego Star Wars, and it was all downhill from there. It's not a controversial take. It is what it is, you know? Sometimes I say information, and it's up to you whether or not you want to understand that I'm correct. Next up, we got the obvious winner, Baldur's Gate 3. Outstanding Story-Rich Game of the Year award. Like, are you kidding yourself? It's Baldur's Gate 3. Starfield should have been on this list, though. That's for sure. And now what's really messed up is that they put Liza P next to it. Because, listen, the mechanics in Liza P, really good. The boss fights in Liza P, consistent as hell, really good. You know, even the visual style, pretty cool. You know, some cool stuff going on in there. The story itself, however, there's some intrigue. But come on, it's pretty cool. I had some interesting, it was some, ooh, wow, look at that moments in the story for me. I've played it and beat it 3 times. But I don't think it's winning Outstanding Story-Rich Game Award, unfortunately. Especially not with Baldur's Gate 3 there. Next up, we have Love is All Around, which is, this is the first time I'm seeing in this game. Like, it's uncanny, these graphics. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Is it like Girlfriend Simulator or something? We trying to get our fuck on right now? I'm always trying to get a nut off. I mean, I actually have no idea what the fuck this game's about. Next, we have Resident Evil 4. And people really like this game. It's a remake, of course, but apparently it did it justice, and then some. I have not played it. Not really my type of game. I've seen people play it, though. So I'm going to have to vote Baldur's Gate 3, of course. And it's going to win. However, if Love is Everywhere takes it, I will not be mad. Because judging by what I've seen of it, it's a fair argument. Sit Back and Relax Award. This game is the antidote to a busy day. It's smooth, it's relaxing, and lets your worries melt away. This game is your moment of zen. This is hilarious. Why is Cities Skylines 2 here? For one, it came out like yesterday, and for two, it came out unfinished. It had the worst like frame rate issues ever, and some like actual gameplay issues that I heard about. I didn't play it. I played the original Cities Skylines. I'm not going to play this until like 2 years from now when Paradox Games actually finishes it. Why is it here? What the fuck? Next, we have Train Sim World 4. And, you know, I have played Train Sim Worlds 1 through 3. And the hidden Train Sim World 0, which was like a prelude to Train Sim World 3, where there were some story elements that they kind of wanted to wrap up in a neater bow that they said they didn't feel like they really made, like, super solid in Train Sim World 3. They did better in Train Sim World 2, so it was weird that they would kind of get worse with that in the next installment. So, like, they're putting their best foot forward, it seems, from that point onward, especially with 3, you know? There's some bumps along the road, or in the track, as it were, if you get what I mean. But what the fuck are you talking about, bro? We got Potion Craft. I actually watched 39 Daft play this game, and it was really cute. I actually thought about maybe getting it myself, and then I realized I'm not going to do all that. But it is a cute idea. Then we got Dave the Diver. We got Dive the Daver. That game's a banger. It's a bit repetitive at times. The story is really cool. The art is fantastic. The music is stellar. It's Dave and he's a diver, which is sick. Got big boy representation as well. It's a Korean studio, I believe. It's really good. It's a sick-ass game. Only gripe about it is that you have to kill the fish, unfortunately. I don't like that. But, you know, I did what I had to do to make a living in this bitch of an earth, okay? The story is interesting. It's a good game. And then we got Coral Island. My understanding of this is kind of Stardew Valley-esque, but like Disney-ified or like Pixar-ified. I'm not playing that shit. I'm voting Dive the Daver on that one, because this is a good-ass game and you should play it. It's like a mix of Stardew Valley and fucking other shit. The gameplay loop is thusly, okay? You are dive. You are a daver, okay? You dive in the water. You grab it a fish. You bring it a fish to Bancho, who is the chef right here, the sushi chef. He make it a food, the sushi. And then you serve it to people, and there's actually a section where you have to manage the restaurant. And that's actually really fun. And then, you know, you end your day, you make it a money, you use that to buy upgrades for Dave, upgrades for your sushi restaurant, all this kind of shit. And that's the gameplay loop, and there's a story to it. It's actually really good. I'm a big fan. It's got like roguelike elements to it, in that every single time you dive in the water, it changes. There's an inbuilt justification for that in the story. But like the layout's always a little bit different. There's sometimes different fish spawns and whatnot. It's really cool. There's a lot of content to the game. I did feel like it got a little repetitive toward the end. But overall, it was really good. I'm a big fan. And I'm usually not into games like this. You should play it. So I'm going to give that to Dave the Diver. And I feel like it should win. Like, I don't think City Skylines 2 is winning. I don't think Train Sim World 4 is winning. Potion Craft, I feel like... Did that come out in 2023? I feel like I watched Daph play that last year. But I guess it must have if it's here. And then Coral Island, which is the only one here that I can see maybe in beating Dave. I don't actually know. Dave the Diver was good. And that's it. That's all she wrote, everybody. Steam 2023 Awards. The Conure Choice Awards for Game of the Year goes to Baldur's Gate 3. VR Game of the Year, Labyrinthine, because I needed to get a sticker. Labor of Love Award, Red Dead Redemption 2, because it's the only not pure multiplayer game on the list, except for maybe Deep Rock Galactic, but usually you're playing that multiplayer anyway. And I got a sticker for voting for. Then we got Brotato Best Game Steam Deck Award. I've played Brotato on not Steam Deck. I imagine it's pretty good on Steam Deck, and it's Brotato. I like it. It's a fine game. Better with Friends Award, Lethal Company, because it's the only one here that I've played. And it's, you know, good for a romp. Outstanding visual style I gave to Darkest Dungeon 2, because once again, it's the only game here I've played, and I do like the outstanding visual style that it has. Then we have Most Innovative Gameplay Award. We gave that to Starfield. I need not say anymore. Best Game You Suck At, we gave to Street Fighter 6, because there are thick bitches in Street Fighter 6, and if I'm going to lose to anything, it's going to be a thick bitch. It's the only thing I ever lost to in my life. Then we got Best Soundtrack Award, Pizza Tower, song's a banger. On that, especially the one in the hub world, I think in the second or third floor, where it's like tropical. It's really good. I kind of want to pull that up. Pizza Tower OST. YouTube Pizza Tower OST. It's kind of a jammer. The whole OST goes hard, but what a... Not this one though. Floor 3, Radiation Resort. This one, bro. Wait. This build up? God. Damn. Absolute tune. Whole Pizza Tower gone mad. What the fuck? Anyway, banger. Banger, 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 banger. Pizza Tower. Outstanding story-rich game of the world. We had to give it to Baldur's Gate 3. It is the only logical choice here. Resident Evil 4 is the only competition. Liza P is really good for the mechanics, though. Sit back and relax for what we gave to Dave the Diver. When will the winners be announced? All winners will be announced here on January 2nd at 10 a.m. Pacific. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how my predictions pan out. And if any of them are incorrect, no, they're not. Steam is lying to you. Just like they're lying about, you know, ever releasing a Half-Life 3. I don't think they've ever come out and said they're not gonna. And that's a lie by omission. Oh, also, if you watch this whole time, tell me if you fuck with the gaming content, like the talking about games content. Because like I have been putting up videos on the YouTube, and I know I'm like the politics guy, and I'm still gonna do that, obviously. But I do play video games as well, so like I like to talk about them as well. Some people seem to be here for it. Press a like on the video if you are, and maybe leave a comment about your predictions for Steam Awards